Welcome everyone to the seventh quarterfinal of Quizzing with the Comedians, third edition. We've had what they call a topsy-turvy ride so far, some big upsets, some expected results, but all in all, six extremely fun and hopefully educational quiz sessions for all of you. On that note, I'm going to start the seventh quarterfinal and invite the four participants without wasting any more time. The first participant, he is an ex-semi-finalist and of course an amazing writer and amazing participant. Give it up for Girish Narayan Das.
Hello, what's up? How's it going?
Hello,
Giri.
Giri.
So stoked to be playing this again. The only I want to say the only semis is so that I can just play this again. That's literally
Nice.
it's just so much fun playing this.
Nice.
That's the only reason I want to qualify.
Yes. Hopefully, let's fingers crossed. We'll know very soon. Our next participant is past winner of the movies edition of Quizzing with the Comedians and also the winner of first edition of movies Quizzing with the Comedians. In fact, I think he's undefeated so far in Quizzing with the Comedians. That adds an enormous amount of pressure. Welcoming another rider of Rohan. Give it up for Rohan Joshi.
I was just getting ready to enjoy myself until you said that. I was literally like, "Arey, chal, ab maza aayega," and then suddenly lot of pressure, I guess. But yeah, I mean, my entire reason for being in this tournament is at what point is the pendulum going to swing the other way and smack me in the face? So this is now entirely. If you've noticed, every time I've promoted the Quizzing with the Comedian, this particular edition on the internet, I've used the tagline, "Everything that has a beginning has an end." Which was also the tagline of the Matrix Revolution.
Yes. Which was also the third in that series of Matrix.
Exactly. Exactly.
And also they say the law of average has to catch up someday.
At some point.
I'm just saying all this to reduce the pressure on you.
Of course. It's just the thing that I go to sleep every night wondering about is what it's going to be like to one day be that the Indian team that finally loses to Pakistan in a World Cup match. One day at some point in the future, just because of the way averages work, that's going to happen. And the solace I take is that whatever happens today, I will not be on that team at least. Cool.
Wow. On that note, our third semi-finalist, he's been here before. He's one of the audience favorite. I get a lot of messages saying Sourav Ghosh ka semi-final cover. A lot of people just want to watch him play the quiz because he's one of the characters to watch out. On that note, my friend, my comrade, Sourav Ghosh.
Hey, hi everyone. Varun, I'm so pumped to score a point. That's all I want. I'm going for a point, man. Rohan has zero threat from
Ghosh, you sound like every Manchester United team meeting for the last 2 years. A point. One, guys. If we can get one.
I don't even know that football reference.
If it helps, that's the only football reference I can offer you. If it helps,
I was going for the day Ajit Agarkar scored a run, remember, in Australia, and then he raised the bat. On that note, our next participant, some people call her the David Attenborough of Indian comedy scene because she's an expert on Animal Kingdom. She almost made it to the semi-final last time. She's one of the most exciting. I think Giri was part of that quarterfinal.
My God, this time it's going to
eventually losing to the eventual winner of that edition, Ashish Shakya, who surprisingly was the biggest upset of this tournament so far. On that note,
6 p.m. quarterfinal was hectic.
Yeah. On that note, let us all give a round of applause to Sumaira Sheikh.
Woohoo!
Hello! Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Thank you so much for having me. Hi.
Hello, Janwar ki Jankari. OP.
OP.
JKJ OP. Oh, man.
I'm so excited.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Welcome Giri, Rohan, Sourav, Sumaira. All of you know how this works. First question to Giri. The legend of Sigurd and Gudrun. Okay, The Legend of Sigurd and Gudrun is a book published by HarperCollins. This book was composed in 1920s by X. It is based on the poetic Edda, one of the two primary works on Norse mythology. The book was published in 2009 posthumously, and it was edited by X's son. Now, X, the reason we know X is because he is known to us for another immortal fantasy series. Okay, who are we talking about? Let's look at timeline. Let's look at why we know him. Let's look at the question again. The book is called Legend of Sigurd Gudrun, which was composed way back in 1920s by this guy, but it was not published. It was published much later in 2009 posthumously. This guy had died by 2009. This is based on Poetic Edda, which is one of the two primary works on Norse mythology. Now, the reason we know this guy, this person, is because of another immortal fantasy series. Which writer are we talking about?
Man, I know only one immortal fantasy series. Now, this is one of those questions where it's like, is it obvious? Is it that obvious, or is it no? Because I literally don't know anything else about this man's life. So I'm just going to go with the only guess that I can think of right now. Is it Tolkien?
It is Tolkien. Tolkien, the immortal fantasy series is Lord of the Rings, and it is J.R.R. Tolkien. J.R.R. Tolkien. Girish, great start. 10 points to Giri. 10 points to Giri, which means the next direct will be to Rohan. From Norse mythology, we now come to Hindu mythology. X was the only warrior to possess the weapons of all the three chief gods. Okay, like Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, he had the weapons of all these three chief gods. The Pashupat Astra, which is from Lord Shiva, Vaishnav Vastra, and Brahmastra. X has been called an Ati Maharathi. Okay, which is and he's the only one to have that adjective. He was such a great fighter that he's the only one who has been ever referred to as Ati Maharathi. Now comes an interesting funda. X, upon defeating Y, tied him onto his chariot and dragged him to his city. Okay, X wished to kill him, but Y was saved upon intervention by Lord Brahma. So basically, X defeated Y, which is a big deal because it's like Y is also a strong opponent. X defeated Y, got him to his city, dragged him to his city, but Brahma intervened and said, "Hey, dude, don't kill him." So he did not kill Y. Okay, X got his name. Like he has more than one name, but this particular name he got because of his victory over Y. That's a big hint. X got his name because of this particular victory over Y. After this victory, he was granted a boon by Brahmaji that he would never be won over in any battle. Okay, you would never lose until your yagna was disturbed. Like if you're doing a yag, if you're performing a yag and it's disturbed, that is when you will finally be defeated in a battle. And he was cautioned that whoever will disrupt your yagna is the same guy who would finally kill you also. Okay, so we need to identify these two people, X and Y. And the one obvious connection between X and Y is that one of X's prominent names comes from the fact that he defeated Y.
Is it, I'm just taking a wild guess here. Is this Arjun and Duryodhan by any chance?
No, not Arjun and Duryodhan. Going to Sourav Ghosh.
Is it Arjun and Dronacharya?
No, not Arjun and Dronacharya. Sumaira?
I know nothing, okay, but because the name comes from defeating and winning, the only name that comes to my mind is Vishwa Atma. Is that anywhere close to the right answer, KV?
No.
Okay,
no.
cool. So
Going
then I'll
to
pass.
Giri?
Thank you.
Yeah, going to Giri.
Oh man. Is it X Bhishma Pitama?
No, not Vishnu Pitama. Cool. I will give a hint and then we'll take one more round. This is a 5-pointer now, starting with Rohan. Okay. The hint is that this is from Ramayana. That is the first hint. And he tied him onto his chariot and dragged him to his city. That city is the city of Lanka. Okay. So Lanka, someone defeated someone and dragged him to Lanka. And now you can just fit.
Is it Ram and Ravan?
No, not Ram and Ravan. Sourav?
Is it Meghnad and who's the other guy? Meghnad and Hanuman.
You're technically right. Okay, let me tell you this. You're technically
Phew.
right.
That's all I need, man.
But can you tell me another name for Meghnad that comes from this fact that he defeated someone?
See, in Bengali, there's something called Meghnad Bodh Kabbo.
So just for all of you to understand, X is actually Meghnad. So Sourav Ghosh is technically right and he will get part points. But I'm looking for a specific name of Meghnad that comes from the fact that he defeated Y. That's all we need to crack now for the rest of the part points.
I don't know. I pass. Sorry.
Giri?
So he defeated Hanuman. Is that correct? Is that part correct?
No, I didn't acknowledge that part.
Okay.
Hanuman.
Actually, I'll pass on this one.
Okay, cool. Answer is Indrajit, and he defeated Indra. Okay, he defeated Indra. So this was supposed to be a big deal because like Indra is obviously the king of gods, not easy to defeat. But he defeated Indra, tied him to his chariot, and that's why he was called Indrajit, because he defeated Indra. So Indrajit was the answer I was looking for. Meghnad is technically correct. That's where Sourav gets 3 points. Which means the next direct will be Sumaira's question because Ghosh got 3 points. The Congress party came to power in 1947. We know that. India became independent and Congress came in power. And then X became a member of its working committee in 1955. Okay, so X is an individual who became member of Congress's working committee in 1955. In 1959, so 4 years later, X was elected to the largely honorary post of party president. Okay, so X was elected to the post of party president of Congress in 1959. Then X was made a member of the Rajya Sabha in 1964. And that same year, since Lal Bahadur Shastri was our prime minister, Lal Bahadur Shastri named X the Minister of Information and Broadcasting in his government. Who are we talking about? So this is obviously a famous person, but we are talking about the initial part of the career. Congress became member of its working committee in 55. Yeah. By 59, elected as the honorary post of party president. Rajya Sabha member by 64 and Information and Broadcasting Minister of India in 1964. Who are we talking about?
Information and Broadcasting. Okay. This would be somebody who was a famous freedom fighter before. I mean, you're not giving me anything, KV, but I'll keep asking.
I will not react.
All right, cool. I have no clue, but I'll still say something, some random thing I'll say, okay? This is later on. Information and Broadcasting in this government. Okay, cool. I'll pass.
Okay, passing to Giri.
And this is one of those things where you want to take a wild guess, but wild guesses always come with this added risk of sounding stupid, because you'll say a person's name who wasn't even born in that era, and you'll be like, I know only that famous person from Congress, so I'm just gonna say that name. It could be right. KV gives these obvious questions, but then he may not be alive. So now I'm just thinking, should I take a wild guess and sound stupid, or should I just pass?
Go for it, Girish, so that we all can sound stupid.
I would personally always recommend guessing as compared to passing.
Was it Rajiv Gandhi?
Not Rajiv Gandhi. Rohan Joshi?
Was it, I'm just taking a wild guess, was it Morarji Desai?
Not Morarji Desai. Sourav Ghosh?
So I'm tied between two answers, but I'm pretty sure both are wrong. I'm going to go with Deve Gowda.
Not Deve Gowda. Okay, we'll take one more round, starting with Sumaira. So with a hint. The hint is think females.
Oh, Indira Gandhi is the only one I know. As a female, the only female I know is Indira Gandhi.
Is that your guess?
Yes, that's my guess.
Yeah, that is correct. We are talking about Indira Gandhi. 5 points to Sumaira there. Yeah,
Indira Gandhi got Gandhi correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, Indira Gandhi became honorary party president, then Rajya Sabha member, and then Shastri made her INB minister, and then of course Shastri died, and the rest is history. Indira Gandhi is correct. 5 points to Sumaira. And next direct to Giri.
Okay.
Giri, this term X, okay, which is used to describe hugely successful movies or books or albums, was initially used in Second World War for a special kind of bombs. Okay, these bombs were used by Royal Air Force of England against Germany, and they were known to be destructive enough to clear up entire dash and rows of houses, leading to the practice of calling them X. Give me X. Okay, now let's understand the question. The root or the origin, the etymology of the term comes from the Second World War, where these were types of bombs that were used by the English Air Force against Germany, and they were named so because they were so destructive that they used to clear up entire dash. That's a word that I've intentionally removed. Dash and rows of houses. So they start calling it something. In today's language, we use this term to describe anything that is hugely successful, especially movies, books, or albums. What are we talking about?
Again, one of those obvious answers coming to mind, but then again, is it okay? I'm just gonna go for it. Is it Blockbuster?
It is Blockbuster. That is correct. 10 points to Giri.
God damn it.
Woo, woo, woo.
Blockbuster
I have known
is
the
correct.
answer to all of Giri's directs and none of mine. This is horrible. This is horrible. It's the worst feeling. It's the worst feeling. You're like, mere paas aane do, mere paas aane do, bas aane do mere paas. And then...
Yeah, Blockbuster, they were so destructive, they used to clear up entire blocks and rows of houses. That's why they were
अब पूछो अगले क्वेश्चन में कौन था जो मतलब इंदिरा गांधी के भाई के ऑफिस में टेलीफोन सेक्रेटरी था पूछो भाई पूछो अब डायरेक्ट आ रहा है मेरा तो
सुखराम okay
भाई पूछो
this is Rohan's direct. A drier style of orange liquor X hails from France, but the origin of the drink's name beyond that is disputed. Some attribute it to being a translation of the words dash dry. Others say it is a reference to dash distillation, which doesn't actually occur in its preparation. Or it could be a reference to the dash evolution of French brand Cointreau's recipe. Now, Combier and Cointreau both claim to be world's first X producer. In modern parlance, X is often used as a generic term for any orange liquor and sometimes denotes a low-grade knockoff. High-quality X's, meanwhile, can be consumed neat or as part of a cocktail. What are we talking about? All the blanks are the same. Okay.
The answer is, of course, Tolkien. Is and everybody. What the fuck? A drier style of orange liquor. When you say some attribute it to being a translation of the word dash dry, you're saying that the name in its language is a translation of the English words dash dry?
Yeah.
Just to understand that in its language, whatever language, like say French or whatever language it's in, there's okay.
Yeah, in some sense, yeah.
I am literally taking a guess here because I have just no understanding of fine liqueur beyond a point. Is it cognac?
Not cognac. Sourav?
Pulp.
Not pulp. Sumaira?
Pulp was my answer, Sourav. Now, I have no answers left. Because it's orange pulp, right? Sorry. I would pass.
Okay, Giri?
And I'll pass.
Okay, I'll give a hint and then another round for this time for 5 points. So the blanks refer to number of times something is done. So the think of a something numerical. Okay, for example, some say it's reference to dash distillation, which refers to how many times it's been distilled, but they're not sure that this is actually a part of preparation. It could also be a reference to the dash evolution in the sense that how many times it has evolved. So it's a 2-word answer where the first word is numerical in nature.
Okay, is it my turn?
Yeah.
Is it triple sec?
It is triple sec. Triple sec is what we were talking about.
The moment you said numerical, I was like, shit.
Yeah, triple sec.
Basically, ये दूसरे बार में देखा है shelf पे.
Yeah.
They hai. Like that is.
Dude, I'm feeling worse because ये मैंने 2 हफ्ते पहले पिया है.
Wow.
इसलिए बोलता बेटे पीते नहीं, पीते तो याद नहीं रखता, वही तो है, वही तो प्रॉब्लम है. देखते हैं तो याद रखा जाता है, लेकिन पीते हैं तो याद नहीं रखा जाता ना.
Amiya is going to be so mad at me right now. She's going to be so mad. She'll be like, "क्या तू?"
Saurav.
I'm like, bottle पे. Now I'm remembering bottle पे orange है. I'm like, bottle पे orange क्यों है?
सौरभ तूने मेरी तरह पल्पी ऑरेंज पिया है ना?
हाँ यार, मैंने तो पिया भी नहीं, देखा भी
See,
नहीं.
I'm so glad. See, until KV said the numerical thing, my second answer was Rasna.
Till points for
Last
that.
day, where it was like, it is described for a low-grade knockoff. I'm like, is that the origin of the word tharra? Should I just say it?
I'm going to be like, Narangi? Is that really?
I didn't know that such a cool origin, dude. Tharra had such a cool origin. I didn't know that.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. On that inebriated note, next question number 7. Next question is direct for Sourav. So the adjoining picture that you see on the screen right now shows an object being protected by guards at Agra Fort. Okay, they are protecting something, as you can clearly see in the photo. So it was brought there by the British Army in 1840s from what is now the modern state of Gujarat after lots of debates in the House of Commons. House of Commons, as we know, is the parliament in London. Later, it was found to be fake. Anyway, which iconic piece of ancient Indian architecture is this object from? Okay, let me explain. They are basically protecting these doors. Okay, so the object is doors. There's nothing behind the door. So I'm not asking you to guess kiske piche kya tha. They're protecting these doors. Now these doors were actually brought to Agra Fort by the British from what is now called Gujarat. Okay, from Gujarat they got it, and there were a lot of debates about it in the House of Commons. Later, though it was found to be fake, what do you think was so important in Gujarat that it became a matter of such importance that the doors were taken from Gujarat to Agra and all that? Particular place in Gujarat.
So you want me to name the door? Like there's another name to this door.
So these doors are from somewhere. So you need to tell me from where. Like what were these doors of? Essentially, if I have to just simplify it, these doors were doors to what?
Does it have something to do with Fatehpur Sikri?
No, not Fatehpur Sikri. Fatehpur Sikri. Okay. Sumaira?
Oh. Big Boss House. That's all. Sorry. I don't know. Pass.
Are you passing? Okay, passes to Giri.
I'll pass.
Okay, passing to Rohan.
Wow, this is again, just because you're saying ancient Indian architecture or whatever, I'm literally taking like a blind guess. Is this like Mohenjo-daro bathhouse or something like that?
No, not Mohenjo-daro bathhouse. Okay, I'll give a hint and take one more round. This place has extremely high religious importance. So religion will be a good track to think. And Gujarat, so just combine what is already there, which is Gujarat, combine religion, okay, and think of a very, very important place in Gujarat with religious importance. And that place has always been a matter of debate. And that's why it was so important that the debate went all the way to House of Commons. So that is why these doors were something which is very, very debated, something in Hindu, in like religious terms, in Hinduism.
Okay. This is my turn, right?
Yeah.
Yes, Sarah.
So, Ayodhya.
Not Ayodhya. Ayodhya is not in Gujarat. Sumaira?
That was again my answer. Sort of all my wrong, good answers you take.
Sorry.
Sorry, Gujarat religion debate. No, the only religion Gujarat debate I know is from the. Okay, I pass.
Okay, passing to Giri.
I'll pass.
Okay, Rohan.
Try anything.
First of all, I just think that it's a hugely wasted opportunity that both those men are standing on the same side of the door, because the potential for knock jokes here with each other is so fucking infinite that I just feel like these two gentlemen in this photo have zero imagination. And I feel like that's a real bummer. But aside from Gujarat, man. So wait, when you're saying there was a debate, are you saying that there's a debate about the fact that this thing ever existed? You're saying
No, nothing like that. This place
that the
exists.
place ever existed, or that these are fake or okay. So the only thing I can think of Gujarat in ancient, is it like the Vrindavan Gardens, or is it the Vrindavan Gardens? No,
not Vrindavan Gardens. Sandalwood doors of Somnath Temple, and Somnath Temple, in like, so to speak, in Hinduism, has extreme importance, not just because of religious importance, but political importance, as to how this used to be a rich and prosperous temple, and it has always been attacked by foreign invaders. Okay, Sandalwood doors of Somnath Temple. The next question, since this was Rohan's direct, this will be Saurav's direct.
My direct? Was this my direct?
No, I think this was my direct.
No.
This was
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It was Saurav's direct.
I know that it was difficult enough to potentially be my fucking direct, but it was not. Okay, it was not.
No, it was Sourav Ghosh's direct. So this next direct will be to Sumaira. The town of X under the British Raj was the headquarters of the Hazara district during the colonial era. Okay, so during when British used to rule here, this town was the headquarters of Hazara district. Currently, this town is located in Pakistan, and it is named after Major James Y. Okay, Major James Y, who was its founder. Major James is known to have written a poem titled X, which is the name of the city. Okay, titled X upon his return to Britain, describing his fondness for the town. So, what is the story so far? There's a guy called James Y. There is a town named after him. Okay.
Yeah.
Then he went back to Britain, got very emotional about this town, wrote a poem also. However, we don't know this town because of all this. The reason this town is really famous is because of an infamous incident that happened in this town in May 2011. Okay, the city's biggest claim to fame is an infamous incident that happened over there in May 2011. Tell me the city and reason for why the city gained worldwide attention. So if you know the city, you would know the reason.
Yeah. I think I know the reason, but I think I don't know the city, because I remember one thing that shocked world majorly around that time was, can I say the reason at least?
I'll give you part points for reason.
The school shootings that happened.
School shooting? No. Passing to Giri.
Alright, sir.
And so this town is located in Pakistan currently.
Currently, yes.
Okay. James Y, the town of X. I'll pass.
Passing to Rohan.
Abbottabad. It is
Abbottabad is correct.
And
Major
Osama
James
bin Laden
Abbott.
was killed there.
Yeah, that's fair enough. If you know, 10 points to Rohan. It is Abbottabad, James Abbott, and because of his name, this town was called Abbottabad. And of course, this house that you see on screen
There is
became
no context. There is no other context in which is appropriate to say this, but I want to thank Osama bin Laden for being
Making
shot
strong
there. I guess.
Yeah, it is Abbottabad, and the place now we all know the funda. Yeah, just fun fact, it just struck me. I was reading, like when I was researching this question, that someone reviewed James Abbott's poem Abbottabad in UK, and someone called it the worst poem ever written. And I was like, what? They said it's the worst poem ever written. How do you write the worst poem ever written? Okay.
Abbottabad is actually quite good. And yet, Osama sadly lives in this hood.
On that note, direct question this time for Sourav Ghosh. She was the first woman to receive the Sahitya Akademi Award. Okay, first woman to ever receive the Sahitya Akademi Award. First Punjabi woman to be given the Padma Shri Award. In 1981, she was presented with the Gyanpith Award, which is India's highest literary award. Her best known works included the novel Pinjar, which in 2003 also was made into a Bollywood film, also called Pinjar. And another famous work of her is Aaj Akkha Varishanu, which is an ode to Varisha. Which famous woman author are we talking about?
Is it that person whom people call Appa?
I don't know.
Banto and what was the other person? Some Appa.
Nice. Good track. Good track.
No? Okay.
Yeah, no, you're on the right track.
Ishmat Appa. No. Ishmit. I'll just say all variations.
Oh. You're talking about Ismat Chugtai.
Huh.
Not Ismat Chugtai. Going to
Oh,
Sumaira.
shit. I was closer before this. Fuck. I should have kept my...
Sumaira.
Yeah, it's 2000. Yeah, I'm just waiting for my brain to say something and it hasn't.
Oh, sure.
So,
No problem.
so I don't think it will. I
Okay.
pass.
Okay, passing to Giri.
Yeah, no, I'll pass this.
Okay, passing to Rohan.
Again, wild guess. Is it Amrita Shergill?
No, it's not Amrita Shergill. Amrita Shergill was a painter.
Damn it.
I will
Knew I
take
was
one more
confusing
round.
something.
One more round with 5 points. So in some way, Rohan's answer was very close to the right answer.
So you're saying that the hint is around this, Amrita Shergill.
Yeah.
So I know Jimmy Shergill,
what-
that cannot be right. Amrita, Saif Ali Khan's...
Jimmy Shergill will be the first woman to receive the Sahitya Academy. Okay.
Hey man, don't judge.
No, not judging it.
Is it... Can't be Saif Ali Khan's first wife. No, that... Unlikely.
For anyone who is watching now knows why I said it's so much fun to watch Sourav Ghosh play quiz. Like,
Oh, man.
can't be, he's not even saying can't be Amrita Singh. Like, you can't be Saif Ali Khan's first wife.
Hey man, is she still sing? I don't know.
Cool. Sourav?
No clue.
Okay, passing to Sumaira.
No clue. No clue.
Okay, passing to Giri.
No.
Okay, Rohan.
Thanks, fuck. Amrita Preetham. Of course, Amrita Preetham.
It is Amrita Preetham.
Oh.
5 points to Rohan. It is Amrita Preetham, the legendary Punjabi writer.
I want to
Amrita
thank my
Preetham.
brain for farting and taking 5 points away from me for no reason.
Yeah, Amrita Preetham is correct. Okay, let's start with, since this is the first end of the first half, it's time to share the scores. On the back of Blockbuster and Tolkien is on 20 points. Rohan on the back of 5 points each for Amrita Preetham and
Don't want to talk about it.
and one more 5 points you got. Amrita
Yes, I
Preetham
did. I got 5 points on triple sec.
and triple sec and
Yes.
Amrita Preetham, and 10 points on Abbottabad is also on 20. Sourav is on 3 points for Meghnad in the cheek, and Sumaira is on 5 points for Indira Gandhi. Now the order reverses, reverse infi-bounds. This is Sumaira's direct. What connects the following politicians? And this is a non-exhaustive list. Just repeat what non-exhaustive means, that in this list there can be other names also. These are not the only names, but these are the most famous names in a particular, if you make a particular list. Tell me what connects the following politician. Lal Bahadur Shastri,
This I got.
Jivan Ram, Gulzari Lal Nanda, Bansi Lal, Madhav Rao Sindhia, George Fernandez, Ram Vilas Paswan, Nitish Kumar, Mamta Banerjee, and Lalu Prasad Yadav.
The only thing that my brain just said was, because I'm consulting with my brain, is that all of them are just road names that we've seen on Google Maps.
Can be true.
Lal Bahadur Shastri Mark, Jagjeevan Ram
Yes.
Hospital. So that's my answer. Thank you.
That's the final answer. Okay, passing to Sourav.
They were all railway ministers.
Yes, railway ministers is correct. They've all been railway minister of India. 10 points to Sourav Ghosh.
In the game.
Yeah, they've all been minister of railways. 10 points to Sourav. Now I'll go to Rohan. This is Rohan's direct. You might have heard of eggs. They are the commonly seen brimmed straw dash. However, quite contrary to what people think, X do not have their place of origin in Panama. X were actually made in Ecuador. So where did the name come from? The name came because, well, back in those days, much of the trade happened via the Panama Canal, and somehow these dash began to be known as X. What are we talking about?
I mean, samosas, obviously, as everybody knows. But I think the correct answer here is hats, Panama hats.
Yes, Panama hats is correct. Panama hats do not actually come from Panama, but Ecuador. They're called Panama hats because most of the business then was happening through Panama Canal. 10 points to Rohan. Panama hats is correct.
So,
Next, direct to Giri. Giri, X is also a real city. Okay, X is a city. X. Yes, X is a city in Mali, situated 20 kilometers north of the Niger River or Niger River. The town is the capital of the X region, but X is often used as a placeholder name to mean a place that is far away in the middle of nowhere and or exotic. What place are we talking about? So let's look at the hint once more. Usually we use this place, use this word or name of this place as a placeholder just to refer to some random place which is far away, middle of nowhere, etc., etc. But the fun fact is that it is actually name of a real city. Okay, and the city is in Mali. Mali is the country, and it's actually capital of X region. So that region is also called X. It's like saying Mumbai is the capital of Mumbai region, for instance. What word / city are we talking about?
Rohan, was that your
No, that's mine.
no, that was Sourav Ghosh. That was Sourav Ghosh.
Okay.
Everything is not me. Stop attacking me. I've never done anything to you.
I'm not attacking.
I'm feeling very attacked right now. Giri, what are you doing?
See, Girish, if you don't have the answer, I want to aid him. So at least, Rohan doesn't win.
Wow, this is match fixing.
Exotic.
This is
Can
match
we borrow
fixing.
an answer?
Counter this thing, Sourav. You wait till it comes to you and take the points yourself.
I have no self-belief.
That's a lot to unpack in the middle of a quiz, but that's fair. We can talk about that at some other point, I suppose. I also have deep-seated issues that the fights between my parents have left me with, but I feel like this is not the platform to.
I have no clue about this. Just taking a wild guess. Is it Neverland?
No, not Neverland. Passing to Sumaira.
Oh, nice. Is it La La Land?
Not La La Land. Passes to Sourav.
Is it Oasis?
Not Oasis. Passes to Rohan.
Oh, wow. I was not expecting that. It is, of course, Timbuktu.
It is Timbuktu.
Oh,
It is Timbuktu.
What?
Yeah,
It is
of course.
Timbuktu.
It's Timbuktu.
Timbuktu is for places that are far away. Is it really?
Yeah, so it basically uses a shorthand for it's like you're going to Timbuktu or what? Like,
Didn't
We
know
usually
this.
just use Timbuktu as a placeholder for any of such random places. Like, oh, where are you going? Are you going to Timbuktu? Where is coming back from Timbuktu? Alibag se aaya kya? Kind of like in that zone. But
that's
Timbuktu
why
is
the
actually a place
exclamation mark
in Mali.
but
That's why
guys, do you guys know the story about the Maharashtrian guy who saw the CEO of Apple walking past? He was like Timbuktu.
-5 for that.
Yeah.
10 points to Rohan there.
And that Giri is how you get 0.5. Just demonstrating. Just demonstrating for everybody's benefit here how it's done.
Okay, next direct again to Giri. We're talking about a certain family. This family is a Nobel Prize machine. Okay, they've won 5 Nobel Prizes in some way. X and Y won for physics in 1904. Then Y won solo for chemistry in 1911. Their daughter Irene and her husband Frederick Olliott Dash, which is also the surname, for chemistry in 1935. And then Henry Laboy, who was married to X and Y's daughter Eve, also accepted Nobel Prize on behalf of UNICEF in 1965. Just tell me the family. Okay, I don't want the name of the individual Nobel Prize winners. I just want which family are we talking about that has in some way won. This is Giri. So basically the surname of the family, like what family are we talking about, where two people won for physics in 1901, then one of those two people won solo for chemistry in 1911, their daughter and like their damad won for chemistry in 1935, and then Henry Labois, who was married to X and Y daughter Eve, he accepted on behalf of UNICEF in 1965. What family are we talking about?
Pass.
Passing to Sumaira.
Of course, the Bachchans. That's my guess.
Wait, there's a Nobel Prize for Star of the Millennium?
That's true.
There's the Star of the Millennium Nobel. That's a rare category.
But I pass, KV. That's my final
Okay,
answer.
passing to Sourav Ghosh.
Is it the Curie family?
It is the Curie family.
It's the Curie family.
What?
It is the Curie family. 10 points to Saurav.
It's the Curie.
Curie family, Marie and Pierre won together as a couple in 1901. Then Marie Curie won alone for in 1911. And then, of course, the other people also.
I didn't even know I knew that.
Yeah, I was thinking Curie, but I was like, that's too obvious.
Okay, with that, we enter the last lap of the quiz, the last quarter of this quarterfinal. Saurav got Curie, which means the next question will be to Rohan. Rohan, one lasting legacy of Yuri Gagarin's historic space flight is the mission's launch pad at Baikonur Cosmodrome. The launch pad is still in use today. Okay, Baikonur Cosmodrome is one of the several launching sites used by Russian Federal Space Agency, also known as Roscosmos, but it is not in Russia. Okay, the launch site is in X, a country that was part of the Soviet Union during the Cold War, but is now a separate nation. Cosmonauts continued launching from Gagarin's Vostok 1 pad throughout the Cold War, and the tradition continues to this day. Which country is this launch pad a part of? Okay, let's look at the importance of the question. Obviously, we all know Yuri Gagarin was the first man who went to space. Question is, the first man who went to space left the Earth from which country? Now, the funda is that this country is now a country on its own, but when Yuri Gagarin was sent to space, this was part of the Soviet Union. Okay, but till date, Russia uses this, despite this not being a part of Soviet nation. It's still used by Russia as to continue this tradition. Which country are we talking about?
First of all, I just want to take a second to appreciate the fact that even though it's not in Russia, Russia is like, we'll do what the fuck we want. And if we want to use your space pad, we'll fucking use your space pad because Putin bhai ne bheja hai, so matlab aana hi padega. Basically, Putin वो president है जो टोल वाले को गोली मारता है. Again, this is a wild guess because I have two guesses. I'm just going to go with one of those two. Is it the Ukraine?
Not Ukraine. Going to Giri.
I'll pass.
Okay, passing to Sumaira.
Oh, Sweden, right?
No, not Sweden.
Awesome.
Saurav.
Is it Belarus?
Not Belarus, but good guess because Belarus was part of Soviet Union and became a different country. Let's give another hint and start with Rohan once more. The hint is that the country starts with K. Okay, K for key.
It's Kazakhstan.
It is Kazakhstan.
Which was my second guess out the two.
Oh,
Ukraine or
Kazakhstan.
Kazakhstan. And
Kazakhstan is correct. 5 points again to Rohan. Kazakhstan, one of the world's largest countries. Kazakhstan is correct.
I swear to God, I feel today like that batsman जिसका एक भी boundary नहीं जा रहा है और बहुत double भागने पड़ रहे हैं, बहुत double और triple भागने पड़ रहे हैं आज. Right? बहुत.
Okay. On that note, next direct will be Giri's. Giri, X is a fictional superhero created by writer Stan Lee and artist Jack Kirby. X, along with her brother, first appeared in the X-Men #4 in the Silver Age of comic books. She was a founding member of the Brotherhood of Mutants. While Marvel had licensed the filming rights of X-Men and related concepts to Fox, they had a dispute over the character of X. The studios eventually made an agreement so that both of them would use the character. Tell me which comic book character are we talking about?
Man, if I don't get this, then I will just die today.
What is fictional superheroes? I mean, aren't all superheroes fictional?
No.
Yes.
No.
There's a real superhero?
Yeah.
Yes.
Girish,
The Curie
Superman
family.
is not real.
One.
Curie
Are you
family is
daring
the
to
real
suggest?
life
Are you
Superman.
daring Mr. Ghost to suggest that Sabu is not real?
Yeah.
Is it the Scarlet Witch?
It is the Scarlet Witch.
It is the
Vanda
Scarlet
Maximoff.
Witch, of course.
Scarlet Witch. Scarlet Witch is correct. 10 points to Giri. Very, very important 10 points for Giri. If since you can't see the scorecard like I can see, very, very important 10 points. Next direct question will be Sumaira. We from Marvel Comics we move to geography. X is popularly known as the Dash River. So you can either give me X or Dash River. I'll be okay with both. It's the longest river in Asia and it's the third longest in the world. Okay, the river is deeply connected with the history, culture, and economy of Y. Y is the country, but no need to give me Y. I just want the river. Its delta is responsible for generation of as much as 20% of Y's GDP. Also, the Three Gorges Dam, built on this river, is the largest hydroelectric power station in the world. Which river, currently in news, when I say currently, in the last few weeks, is in news for one of its worst flood in years? What river or which river are we talking about?
Oh, fuck. Which news person in the US are we talking about? Of course, it's something everybody would know, but I would just say Brahmaputra. Because if it's a river, say Brahmaputra. That's all. Thank you.
No, not a bad guess. Not a bad guess, Brahmaputra. Sourav?
Narmada?
Not Narmada. Passing to Rohan.
It's the Yellow River, right?
It is the Yellow River.
Which is the Yangtze, I think. The Yangtze. Is that the correct name? It is the Yangtze. There we go.
It is Yangtze. It is Yangtze or Yellow River from China. Has a massive contribution in Chinese culture. His last question. This is direct for Giri. It is estimated that X is a city. X is home to approximately 300,000 cats, and they're basically allowed to run free. A local law states that if at least 5 cats are living together, they cannot be scattered. This essentially gives them squatters' rights to most locations in the city. Because if agar 4-5 billi ek sath ho gayi, तो no one can remove that because the law says so. In fact, not just any location, they have this right to like ancient ruins also. Like you can see in the image, there are cats like sitting and chilling on ancient ruins of the city. Cat lovers can find a large no-kill sanctuary for cats in this place called Largo di Torre, Argentina, in this city. Okay, which capital city are we talking about? So we are talking about a capital city that is home to a lot of cats, and cats are allowed to roam free. Local law says that if at least 5 cats are living together, you can't scatter them. This means the cats have some sort of a squatter's rights in the city. In many locations of the city, including many of the ancient ruins, cat lovers can find.
And I want to go here.
Yeah.
I'll pass this one.
Okay, passing to Sumaira.
Oh, Priscilla. That's a good call. Priscilla. That's what I want to say.
Okay.
Passing
to Sourav.
Is it Rio de Janeiro?
No, not Rio de Janeiro. Rohan?
Fuck. Again, I have 2 answers based on what I cannot fathom is a clue or a red herring. And okay, this is fucking counterintuitive, but is it Istanbul?
Not Istanbul. Okay, we'll take one more round with a hint. This is a European capital city that we're talking about. That's the first hint. And the image is also in some sort of a hint because it'll give you some hint of the history of the place. But think of Europe. Don't think outside Europe. That's a hint with which we'll take one more round.
Who will start?
Starting with?
We'll start with Giri. Giri's there.
Okay. Oh, man.
What's the hint?
European capital city.
Okay.
No, my brain is like, I'll say some name and be like, "Abbe chute, ye to capital bhi nahi hai, kya kar raha hai?" Like that's what. Ye to dur ki baat hai, tu kya kar raha hai? Ye capital bhi nahi hai.
No, that's okay. That's okay. Rio de Janeiro is also not a capital, so it's fine. Like, tradition.
Where are my cats when I need them?
Yeah, I was noticing that.
Where are they when I
Noticing
need them? Like fucking parasites eating my food, this thing not helping me with one answer also.
Okay, Giri.
Is it? Man, the image is a clue, so it has to be some place where there are a lot of monuments. So I think I'll pass.
Okay, Sumaira.
Paris.
Okay, just कोई भी जो okay. So Saurabh.
Is it Rome?
It is Rome. That is correct.
I
Pillar
It is
was
Rome.
the
was in
clue.
Rome.
The
It is
pillar
Rome.
was the clue.
Pillar
It
was
is
the
Rome.
clue. Fuck.
It is
Yeah.
Rome.
Fuck.
It is Rome. It is Rome. I did not disclose earlier because I don't disclose score in between.
That's the
But
Colosseum.
yeah, that's the Colosseum. But till this question became a 5-pointer, till then we did not know the semi-finalists from this group. Like when the cat question came to Giri, if he had answered, he would have qualified. When it came to Saurav,
Damn it.
if Saurav answered, he would have qualified. But none
Oh,
of you
fuck.
answered. It became a 5-pointer, then it became insignificant because मतलब 5 से फर्क नहीं पड़ता. But I'll come to the final score. Giri had 20 after the first half, and then he got 10 points for Scarlet, which I did predict will be the game-changing answer, and it did turn out to be the game-changing answer. So Giri ends on 30. Rohan had 20 after the first half, and then second half he got Panama hats and Kazakhstan, Yellow River, and also he got 5 points somewhere,
Timbuktu.
which is
I got Timbuktu.
Kazakhstan was 5 points.
Kazakhstan
Timbuktu
was
10
5.
points.
Timbuktu was
Yeah,
10.
Timbuktu was 10 points. So Rohan ends on 55.
Thank you.
Sourav Ghosh, believe it or not, he said he just wants 1 point, and he misses a spot in semi-final with just 2 points. Just 2 points.
Ooh.
Saurav Ghosh had
What are
3
you
points
saying?
in the first half, and then he got railway ministers, he got Curie family, so he was on 23, and Giri was on 30 before the Rome question. So had Saurav Ghosh guessed Rome in the first round, he would have qualified. He would have qualified
Damn.
over Giri
Guys,
because he would
I'm
have ended.
happy. I
Yeah.
did 23 times better than what I expected.
Yeah.
Great.
I think
28.
I think the fair thing to do in this position is basically they have to fight to the death. It's as simple as that. 2 points is really nothing. I think a good old fashioned trial by combat is just the way to go.
No.
think-
Saurav Ghosh
By
ends on.
combat, you get to choose your warrior, right, Rohan?
No. It's not that sort of trial by combat. This is a.
Oh, then I was gonna choose you.
I want to see like a slap fight between the two of you. Like that's what I want to see.
Saurav had 3 after the first half, but had a remarkable second half with 25 points. He ends on 28, just 2 points behind Giri. And Sumaira ends on 5 points.
Nice one.
Yeah, Rohan Joshi and Girish Narayan Das are the 2 semi-finalists from this edition.
All the best, guys.
Congratulations to Rohan Joshi and congratulations to Girish Narayan Das. And thank you so much and really, really well played, Sourav Ghosh and
I'll be rooting for Sumaira.
I'll be rooting for Sourav.
Yeah. Thank you to all 4 of you.
Thanks a
Thank
lot.
you so much.
Bye.